So what we're doing here is a combination of Dhammanupassana and Kayanupassana at the same time. So in Dhammanupassana, we're talking about the four Satipatthanas, the four stations of composure, is the way that I translate it. Normally translated as the four foundations of mindfulness. So basically the Buddha's instructions on how to meditate. There's Kayanupassana, which is normally translated as mindfulness of the body. Whereas I would translate it as composure of the body. And then there's Dhammanupassana, which is mindfulness of essential patterns or principles or teachings. Or I would translate it as composure of essential patterns. So we know what the body is, but what are those essential patterns? When we look at the Satipatthana Sutta, we find that the Buddha is talking about essential patterns of the Dhamma. So things on the positive side, like the 7 enlightenment factors. And then on the negative side, things like the 5 hindrances. Now, what we're developing here by doing both of those two types of meditation at the same time is emotional intelligence. Now, this is very, very important in everyday life. And particularly now, because the machines are smarter than we are. So I spent 15 years studying Pali, and I cannot translate Pali as quickly as Norbu does. It takes me 5 hours to do what Norbu does in 10 seconds. So what's Norbu not capable of is actually having emotions and understanding emotions. And that's actually how we work with other human beings. It really doesn't matter how smart a person is. If they don't have emotional intelligence about themselves and emotional intelligence about other people, they're impossible to work with. And all the problems that we have in our lives, they're actually human management problems. So they're not environmental problems, they're not economic problems, they're not educational problems, etc., etc. They're actually problems of human behavior. And the first thing to solving human behavior is be able to work together. And we can't work with each other unless we understand our own emotions and understand other people's emotions. So that's really important to understand as a Buddhist practitioner. You need to get emotionally intelligent. So quite often what happens when we learn to meditate is we start to suppress our emotions. We just focus on some sort of object and then leave all the emotions to the side. And we can forget about the emotions for a 10-day retreat or a 30-day retreat, but when we come back into the real world, all the emotions get triggered off again. Yeah? So what we need to do if we're going to get real benefit from our practice in everyday life is learn how to understand our emotions and manage our emotions all the time. And not just by putting them underneath the carpet, but by looking underneath the carpet and then sorting them out. Yep. So, what's the difference between a person who's emotionally intelligent and a person who's not emotionally intelligent? Well, in idiomatic language, we'll describe such a person as a person who knows themselves. Now, a person who knows themselves is always a person who knows their body very, very well. Because unless you know your body, you will not know your emotions. Why? Because you experience your emotions primarily inside your body. So emotions are a combination of two things. Thoughts that you have inside your mind that go in a certain pattern. And then feelings that you have inside your body that go in a certain pattern. And generally speaking, if you're experiencing unhealthy, unwholesome, unskillful emotions, you will experience pain in your body. That's why we say things like, that guy is a pain in the neck. It's not that that man is a pain in your neck. It's your anger about that man which is causing pain inside your neck. Yeah? And you know that you're angry because you experience that pain inside your neck. Well, some people don't even realize that they're angry. Yeah? They just experience the pain in the neck and blame the other guy for it. But an emotionally intelligent person would realize there's this connection here. He's having angry thoughts. And those thoughts are going in the pattern of anger. And that's changing the chi in the mental field. And that changes the chi in the body field. And that causes a contraction in the neck, which makes the neck painful. Now, often it's very, very difficult to catch your thoughts, particularly if you're upset. And it's hard to see the pattern of your own thoughts when you're upset. It's like trying to teach a fish what water is. When you're angry, you can't see the anger because it's everywhere. Yeah? But you do have a chance to understand your emotions if you look at your body, because you will notice, oh, why is my neck hurting now? It wasn't hurting 5 seconds ago. Or why are my shoulders tense now? They weren't tense 5 seconds ago. Why is my heart rate going up now? Why does my heart feel like it's doing this? It wasn't like that 5 seconds ago. Why do I feel hot now? Why do I smell funny now? Or why has that person's eyes turned red? Or why is that person suddenly sweating? Or why has his posture changed from being a relaxed posture to a very, very tense posture? Yeah? So if you understand your own body and the types of emotions you have when you put yourself into certain types of postures, then you can watch other people and understand the sorts of emotions they have when they have certain types of posture. But you can't carry a mirror around with you all the time to see what posture you're in. That's why a lot of people can see what we're actually thinking and we can't. People will say something like, "Why are you looking so worried?" And you say, "I'm not worried." Because they're looking at our face, right? And we're looking like this. But we can't see it. Yeah, but if they took a photo of us and showed us to us later, yeah, when we're not upset, you'd look at it and say, "Gee, I look really worried." Now, because you can't see in the mirror what you look like all the time, you have to rely instead on what you feel like. Why does your face change and your posture change when you're worried? Because you have thoughts in a certain pattern. That changes the chi in the mental field. And that changes the chi in the body field, and that causes certain contractions inside your face. And you can't stop it. Yeah? You can try and hide it, right? But there's an unnatural tension there that shows a person who's really observant that you're worried and you're hiding it. An unobservant person won't notice. They'll just think that you're not worried. Yeah, but an emotionally intelligent person will look at your posture and look at your face and say, okay, underneath he's got all this tension. That's the tension of worry. And then over the top, he's kind of ironed it out. Like a person takes out an iron and irons a folded and creased piece of cloth. Yeah? And so your face is too straight and it's not looking relaxed, but it doesn't look obviously worried either. Now, if you're really, really observant, you'll be able to feel that inside of yourself. You'll be able to feel one layer of your body is really, really tense with worry. And then the outer layer of your body is ironing it out with another layer of tension. So that's why if you're worried, you'll get very, very tired because of all that tension. But if you're worried and you're hiding it, you'll get even more tired. Because you've got that inner tension and the outer tension happening at the same time. So that's why some people think that it's better that if you're worried or you're angry or you're scared, you're better off just expressing it and not hiding it. Then you feel more relaxed. But that's not the cure either. Because then you reinforce the habit of being worried, scared, angry, etc. Yeah? So, deeper than that, as you get to know your body very, very well in terms of whole body awareness, as well as the awareness of particular parts of the body, what you'll notice is certain types of thoughts will affect various parts of the bodies in different way. That's why we say, as per the meditation on Sunday, when you're worried, if you're an English speaker, you'll say, "I feel like I've got butterflies in my stomach." Yeah? If you're scared, you'll say something like, "I feel like peeing my pants." So the worry affects your stomach. The fear, particularly survival fear, will affect your bladder. You'll see this in animals as well. Horses, if they're scared of being put through the gate or put onto the horse vehicle, the float, they will start to poo straight away. So again, the pattern of thought of fear. Yeah? I'm going to die. This person is going to hurt me, etc., etc. That changes the way that the chi in the mental field works. And that chi is flowing all the way through your body and outside your body as well. Because it's outside your body, that's why other people can feel your emotions. Then that chi changes the thicker chi, which is the body chi. Yeah? And then that body chi changes your physical body. So those thoughts of fear, he's going to hurt me, he's going to kill me, they cause a contraction in the mental field, which causes contraction in the physical field, which then causes a contraction in the muscles around your bladder or your bowel, and then you go to the toilet. Or sometimes it's the opposite. It's not necessarily just a contraction. Unwholesome emotions can also make things too loose. So actually in this case, it'll make your bladder too loose, and it'll make your bowel too loose, and you have to go to the toilet and you can't stop it. So actually you can do this already. If it weren't the case that ordinary people could notice that you get different emotional effects in different organs, in different patterns, we wouldn't have idiomatic language. Every language in the world has idiomatic language. Yeah? So if we say xin in Chinese, we're referring not just to our physical heart. Yeah? We're talking about our energetic heart. We're talking about our emotions around our heart. But of course, if we feel some sort of emotion that affects this area of your body, this kind of energy area of your body. So if you feel like you're lonely, or you feel like you've been betrayed, that always affects this area, then your chest will contract. Yeah? And it will hurt literally right in the middle of your chest. That's why we say things like in English, when he betrayed me, I felt like he stabbed me in the heart. Or on the opposite side, so let's get positive here. When we have a lot of experience of associating with wise and trustworthy people, we say things like, when I'm with them, I feel like I can open my heart. My heart relaxes. I open the door of my heart. They're so kind. Then I feel kind. They're trustworthy, so I can trust. Yep. So if you want to get to know your emotions really, really well, it's really, really important to start to notice the patterns of tension through your body. Different patterns of tension and also different patterns of over-relaxation will indicate you're undergoing different types of unwholesome emotion, which can all be captured inside the 5 hindrances or the kilesas, the defilements. And then what you'll always notice that if you get skillful through Buddhist practice, by improving your sila, your precepts, your chaga, your generosity and contentment, and your meditation, particularly through Brahma Vihara meditation, you will find that the tension inside your body becomes balanced. And then the elements inside your body will balance. Depending on your karma, it'll happen faster or slower. But you can be sure that at the very least you've got more power over your life and more power over your physical health and mental health. And then, as per Chinese medicine, the organs themselves will come into balance in terms of the elements. They'll become into balance themselves in their own function, and they'll come into balance in the way that they relate to the other organs, in the way that the organs with their 5 elements start to relate to each other. I'd say, and this is just speculative, this is probably the way that the ancient Chinese worked out the medical system. So possibly a part of it was knowledge from the gods, But you can't just rely on knowledge from the gods. You need to find some way to confirm whether or not spirits is telling you the right thing, because often they don't tell us the right things. And often you can't tell the difference between listening to a god and listening to a ghost. Yeah? So then you need to be able to meditate on the body and meditate on the patterns of your mind to see whether or not the information that you're getting from them is actually correct. You do something and then you ask yourself, oh, did that herb, when I ate it, lead to a rebalancing of my body and my mind? Or lead to an imbalance in my body and my mind? Yeah? And so on and so forth through all the different treatments that we have in the ancient world. They didn't have the x-ray machines that we had in the old days. There must have been some other way to do it. So I'd say this is the way you do it. Get to know your body very, very well, all the way down into your organs. And actually, all the 31 body parts described in the Satipatthana Sutta. Get to know the connection between changes in your emotions and changes in all those different types of tissue inside your body. And you'll become very, very smart about your emotions and very, very smart about other people's emotions. Okay, so that's my talk for today.